Wow, today got interesting. I'm just walking down the links at Burnham and Barrow Golf Club, playing pretty well, doing my breaking par series. Actually, no, I was ripping it. I was playing fantastic. Turned Instagram on, saw the first story from Rick Shields, then Matt Fryer, then Peter Finch. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Looking through internet, and we find that the PGA Tour has merged with the Live Tour. Right. First of all, I want you to all jump in the comments section below. What's your opinion of it? What is your initial reaction to this? I personally, I mean, we can all say this now in hindsight, but I'm not surprised. As fickle as this might sound, and as a bad representation maybe of the world that we now live in and the society that we now live in, money talks. Money will generally prevail. People buy the best cars, houses, lawyers, whatever, to make their agenda work. Live have found a way to kind of kick back all of those kind of Jay Monahan statements, which were pretty strong, saying that they would never kind of merge or get into bed with Live or do anything with Live. And really, not that very long down the road, here we are. So I'm not personally not surprised it's happened. I'm very surprised it's happened this fast. I really thought PGA Tour may have just kind of bided their time a little bit, scoped it out for a little bit longer, but they haven't. For me personally, I don't really have a massive opinion on any of the tours. I don't watch that much golf. I watch the Masters, I watch the Open, I watch the Ryder Cup, I watch any other event that Tiger's in, or if I've got any of my favourite players coming down the stretch on a Sunday, I'll tune in. So I've never done any work for the PGA Tour. I've never done any work, official work, for the DP World Tour or the Live Tour. So I've got no real agenda on any of it. But I've always said it from the start, I don't think the Live Tour is a bad thing for golf. I think the competition that it's brought has been intriguing. It's put golf literally all over the headlines, the news, for good and bad reasons. And you know what they say? Bad press is good press. And a lot of people kind of hiding behind the hatred of it because of where they think the money's coming from and why Live is existing. Is it for sports washing or whatnot? And I suppose the PGA Tour are now happy with the money as well. And we can always kind of argue that, let's be fair, the money that's coming into the PGA Tour, is it as perfect and as white as we want to believe? Of course it's not. Let's not be naive about this. Majority at the top end of most high-level businesses, it's kind of got there from some sticky situations, I'm sure. So forget the money side of it. Forget any of that. You know what the best thing about all this is? The best players in the world are going to be in the same field, competing more regularly than just in the majors. And I think that is tremendous for golf. I'm happy that they've found a common ground to work from. They had to find a common ground to work from. They were always going to find a common ground to work from. So there's going to be a few bits now. I think Twitter's going to be a very interesting place. You've got some it gets a bit childish, it gets a little bit petty with some of the players and the back and forths, and I prefer it from a banter perspective. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of banter being thrown about, and there's going to be a lot of people biting back and not happy with certain situations, and we're going to be learning so much more over the next few days as well, like who already knew about this, when did this agenda really start? If they're releasing this now, certainly these sort of things, they take time. So how long has this been going on in the background? What was maybe said in public by Jay Monahan or other players on the PGA Tour? Rory must be feeling like crap. Like, what's been said by these guys in the meantime that we all kind of now can assume that all this was playing out in the background. This wasn't decided last night and released now. The statements that are coming out would have taken a couple of days or a week or so at least to kind of formulate and put together. The whole deal would have been relatively complicated. So we can assume that this has been going on in the background for a couple of months. It has to have been. And the problem I've got now is the PGA Tour, Jay Monahan, has allowed some of these players to really hang themselves out to dry. A lot of them have turned down. You look at Will Zalatoris, Hideki Matsuyama, they've turned down massive payment deals from the Live Tour because they wanted to stay loyal to the PGA Tour, only to find out less than a year down the line they're going to merge anyway. So now those players have actually probably lost excess of 10, 20, 100 million, whatever it was going to be. They've lost a fortune because they've tried to stay loyal to their tour. But now what we've just found is their tour's not even been loyal to them, and we don't know how long this has been going on in the background. It's not right, if I'm honest, and how it's come about, because like I said, these players have really kind of hung themselves on the line, and they've kind of nailed their colours to the mast, so to speak, and especially Rory and a lot of the other players, and like you've got your kind of your Spieths and your Justin Thomases, and they've kind of been like, no, PGA Tour is my home, it's my dream, it's where I've always wanted to play. They're there and they want to play it, and some of them have fallen out with a few Live Tour players, more so Rory with a few of the European players. I think it's been kind of well documented since the Masters that DJ and Brooks and Cam Smith, they're all still quite pally and they're mates with the other PGA Tour players, which has been nice. I think it's been quite refreshing for all that to have come out amidst all the drama or the unnecessary drama that's kind of come from the integration, the move across to Live. But now how this integration is going to develop is really, really interesting. Are there going to be specific events that they can and can't play in? Will PGA Tour players be able to come and play any Live events? Will Live players be going to play PGA Tour events? Will they have brand new events where they're co-sanctioned events where players from all three tours can play? Or it's obviously going to, I presume it's going to make a big difference as well to the Live players in terms of world rankings. And that side of it, I agree with. It's correct. The guys, at the end of the day, they're the best players in the world, and that's how they should be ranked. Whether you agree with them jumping ship and going to a different tour, and the tour not being established enough to earn the right to have these world ranking points, fair enough. But at the end of the day, you've got players like Brooks and DJ. They're still up there with the best players in the world. Cam Smith is still the current Open champion. Brooks is now PGA. I was going to say, what did he win? The PGA champion. So they are two major winners within the tour already, and you've seen how well they've played within the other events as well. So it was always a lazy kind of opinion to think that suddenly these players are going to be rubbish because they're not playing as many events or they're only playing 3 days. And there was a lot of banter bandied around about it, which is fine. It's all a bit of banter. There's nothing wrong with it. But it was obviously completely wrong to presume that they were just suddenly going to be terrible players. So they deserve to be ranked fairly in the world of golf, and that's what I believe. Twitter's already been a very interesting place. We've seen quite a few tweets from, obviously, Colin Morikawa has actually just tweeted saying he's just woken up to this news on Twitter, which, if that's true, again, PGA Tour, that's horrendous from you. You shouldn't be. The PGA Tour players should have a day at least to digest it. Wesley Bryan, half of the awesome Bryan brothers, said that he won't trust anybody within the corporate world of the PGA Tour, and rightfully so. Again, they've been strung along a little bit. They've been lied to. They've been cheated. They probably feel a bit stupid. I mean that in a nice way. They probably feel a little bit kind of certainly upset, which is absolutely right. The right to be. I suppose we're still now waiting for press releases or tweets or whatever from a few other guys. So let's see how that progresses over the next couple of days and weeks. It's another huge move for golf. Let's see. Comment. Let me know your opinions down below as well. But yeah, let's see what happens.